Still not quite right. Hey, good afternoon, Les. Just trying to get this. I've got Evacs on the screen. Right. Where's that one? Just called. Funny enough, I just called Evac site on this. It was down here on the on my Discord, but still not quite right. That's bad. That'll do. That'll do. Close enough. Okay, you be quiet. Now we're looking for another move up. Next candle to make a new high. A little pull back there. It's a good catalyst. FDA approval. Higher day so far is 359. Do I know Ross personally? No, I don't know him personally. I know of him. I know who you're talking about. Shinwari TikTok. I'll be quiet, Les. Just because I didn't take profits on my calls when I should have done. Ah, look, in every trade you take, particularly with options, you write off as soon as you put your money into options, you write it off, and you just look for the profits as they're made. That way, you're not upset if the contract expires worthless. It won't expire worthless because I'll sell it. I've got till the 3rd of June, so like, it's the 10th of May today, so I've got another, 3 weeks before that expires worthless. But if it starts to move up, probably get half my money back if I sold it today. Starts to move up, I'll be happy just to get my money back on that trade. Should have taken should have cashed in when I had the chance last week. It was naive of me to hold on. Options is the best way of looking at options is it's a form of swing trading. You're not going to get the fast execution speeds that you get with day trading. You can't really scalp with options, so it's more akin to swing trading, and you get more leverage, but there is risk there associated with it on the basis that you've got the time factor thrown in, you've got the theta decay involved as well. At least when you're trading equities, you don't have to worry about them expiring worthless in 3 weeks' time. Thanks, Owen. Appreciate that. That stupid dog's barking. Them is Shih Tzus are one of the most annoying breeds of dog. That high-pitched yappy yap thing. It's yeah, let's have a green day. So we had a green day yesterday, but we didn't get green until after hours. And I recorded the track on YouTube after hours, and I just went short. We got a lovely bear flag, so I put about 15,000 shares short and rode it down for about 30 cents. It was really good, a really good move. There's the 8 o'clock scrum. Always gives me palpitations, does that? When I'm in a trade. Nice one, Les. Good to hear it. Always happy when I hear somebody's making money in the market. TC2000 is a good platform. Shimada TikTok. It is a good platform. I prefer Dash Trader, but TC2000 is much better for charting. It's better than Dash Trader. I prefer Dash Trader for execution. I think my two favorite platforms for execution are Dash Trader and Sterling Trader. TC2000 is good for charting. It's actually not bad for execution either. It's actually a good platform. I was trialing that out just a couple of weeks ago, as it happens. It's not bad. It's not a bad platform for day trading, and of course you've got the configurability, you know, the hotkeys and the hot buttons and all that kind of setup as well that you can do with TC2000. So it's not a bad setup at all, actually. Still prefer Dash Trader, but like I say, just my preference. Thanks, Stan. Crazy spaniel dog. I hope you're not that crazy spaniel dog from across the street that was just yapping. My safety net just in case. Go and close this door now. That's no problem, Shimada TikTok. Takes a while. Does take a while. But it all comes good in the end. A bit of fluctuation on the ask, but not so much on the bid. There we go. So 55. 56, no. Just in this, we just went with 10,000 shares. We're looking for 55. We got rejected previously at 360, so I'm just looking for 55 to take some profits. $350s at the minute. 52 on the ask, 4 on the ask, we want it on the bid, 55 on the bid. There we go, take a little bit off. Stop there now. Up at break even, 46. I'll put it at 50, 350. That's the stop there. AFTP, how you getting on? How was your Monday? You profitable? Hey Ladybug, welcome to the stream. Just holding 5,000 shares at 350 at the minute. I've got the stop at 350. I'm holding it at 346. I wanted to see if this runs up to 375. It's pre-market, so. Tesla, I think Tesla's going to continue fading today, along with the rest of the market. The heat maps this morning on FinViz are just red all over. SPY's up slightly on the day, but still not great. S&P 5's up slightly. I hope we get a bounce today. I hope we get Tesla moving up again today. I hope that we get a huge rally up to 950 and my calls get in the money so I can offload them. But the chances of that happening are kind of very small. Trading 212. I've had mixed reports from Trading 212, but they've got a waiting list. So I've never actually traded with them. They applied back in 2020, late 2020. Never heard back, so I never traded with them. So Interactive for me is, I've never had any problems with Interactive. They're probably the generic one I would say. Go to broker. I trade day trading. If you're an active day trader, then I would say Capital Markets. If you don't mind an offshore broker, Capital Markets is great. In Europe, there's a lot more options in the US, of course, but yeah, 212. I don't know what the waiting list is. I don't know why they can perceive to be so good. If we'll see. If they decide to come back to me, I might open an account, kind of a backup account with them. But I've never had any problems with Interactive. Capital Markets, I've never had any problems with them. But like I said, they're an offshore broker, and I get more margin. I get more leverage with it with Capital Markets as well. Well, this is going in the right direction. I want to see it break that $0.75 level. Just going to move my average cost up. Get to the 370 level again. Weird, don't know what happened there. I know what happened there. 355. That's the break even on the 5,000 I've got. So I've just locked in $900 to start. This breaks 355. My average cost is 356, so I've put the stop at 355. Look, the fees, you've only got to worry about fees, Adam, if you're losing money. You get fees with fees and charges with actually they do have a platform that's commission free, but it's not really for day traders. Not really for active traders. Same with capital markets. There is a commission free platform, but it's not really for active traders. It's more for investors. So morning Alphabet. Oh yeah, I've no doubt this will go over $4. Shinwara TikTok. It's just a matter of when. Will I get stopped out on the way? So you know, with 5,000 shares in this at the minute, we're just taking it easy to start off with. We can go bigger if we get more volume. Nice little spike, like that. I've changed my hotkeys, Alistair. So it's a limit order that's there as opposed to a market order. Market orders won't work because the market isn't open. It has to be limit orders. I've just changed my hotkeys. That's what I was doing over the weekend. I'm always playing around with the configuration. Not actually been stopped out yet, but we'll see. And that's no problem. And is it going to work? You're editing at 395, Shinwara TikTok. Well, the governor, the crypto is following the wider market sell-off. Just seeing if this drops. That should have. Alright, okay. This drops below. Should execute that order, but it's not doing. Not quite got down there yet. I'm ready with my exit key. A little bit. If Bitcoin continues to fall, I'm ready to add to my position. Being completely honest. Currently 31, just over 31,000. If it goes below 30, I will be adding to my position. Get rid of TradingView. Just realised TradingView takes up data. Just conscious this might not execute with it being pre-market, but it's not actually got down there on the ask. It's not got to 55 on the ask. That's what I'm waiting for, just to see if it does execute. No, get out that way. It doesn't. So you're absolutely right. I was wrong there, Alistair. Had to exit myself. You can put the order in, the limit order, but it won't execute because it's a stop order. So just be wary of that, guys. I knew that beforehand, but thought if I put it's a stop limit order as opposed to a stop market order, it would be different. It's not. When would I buy Tesla? Right now, I'd wait for a clear market reversal sign. I wouldn't buy anything in the S&P until we see an S&P reversal. We see the market reversing, and then look at the individual instruments that make it up. Not a bad trade at the moment, Alistair. Got to be honest. I'm happy enough with that so far. $700 to start the day. Back to the VWAP. We'll wait for the next candle to make a new high now. So I'll wait for the next 5-minute candle, which is 64. We'll wait for 64. Could be, Alistair, could be. Why not? She's gas. Did I finish my cup of tea? Yes, I did. So yeah, the market as a whole is absolute shocking, if I'm being completely honest. Let me have a look at the latest. Yeah, so this is your S&P 500 map. And you can see everything is red. Pretty much everything is green. Well, we've got some consumer stuff that's green. But most of Amazon, Tesla, Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, you know, technology, IT, software, everything's red. Finance, everything's red. So this is your S&P 500 map, and it's not looking great. Get a bit more green on the on this side. So as we get a bit more green over here, but still it's better than it was, but it's still looking very, very bearish. Actually, why? That's... Okay. Okay, I'll go with that. Okay, so the news this morning was that Evax they'd announced successful production of a personalized cancer immunotherapies, and they're in clinical trials. So that's the catalyst that's driving this. We do like these pharma catalysts that make things go on a large parabolic move. But right now we're not there yet. Okay, so let's have a look at what else is moving today. Oh, Biohaven, I think that's an acquisition. Vertex Energy. Let's have a look at Vertex Energy. What are we looking at here? Not a huge amount of volume at the moment. Looks like we got all the volume early doors. Yeah, we're not got the best volume on that one. So Evax is the top gapper at the moment, top performer. So we've just fix this. Makes sense. Oh, you can actually see what we've made today now. I put the shares in yesterday. I've been messing around with the configuration overnight, so I put the shares in. You can see how many shares I've got, because you couldn't yesterday. There we go. Now we've got that. DBD. Let's have a look at DBD. It's very low volume. Right, looking good. Let's on. I'm just trying to bounce. Peloton's been struggling. Peloton's one of those. During the pandemic, everybody's at home, and they made an absolute fortune. Everybody loves my dog. She's totally lovable, even with the snoring. She spends half her life asleep. What's the... Peloton in the last 5 minutes? Yeah. I can look at the float size, 270 million. Okay. So, quick call out to Chad Red 7. In the new beta scanner is looking great now that I've set it up. Yeah, I like this. I like the new scanner. Good. No, no, it isn't. The new beta scanner is. I've not put it on the YouTube channel yet, but I've got a whole bunch of columns, and I just click the column to see, what's moving in the last 1 minute, what's moving in the last 15 minutes, where the volume is over the last 5 minutes, all that kind of stuff. So I'm actually getting used to it. So I need to get used to it before I start pushing it out in terms of messaging. But we'll get there. I'm still using the old scanners, but I'm also using the new beta scanner as well. What's in the new scanner? Well, I've got the way I've configured it. The new scanner, I've got it configured, so I've got exactly the same as what I've got in the previous scanner. So I've got the gain on the previous closing price. I've got the change over the last 1 minute, the change over the last 5 minutes, the change over the last 15 minutes. So I'm getting surging scanners and momentum scanners in that as well. I've got the relative volume, average volume, and current volume of the session. I've got the volume over the last 1 minute and the last 5 minutes, so that I can basically see where the crowds are at, where the shares are being traded, and I've got the share float, the size of the float of the stock being selected as well. There's a number of different things, all on the one page. So I just click the column to sort it via that particular column, and it gives me the gainers, the losers, whichever I want to do. So it's a handy little scanner that I don't think it'll replace the ones that I'm using, because I can see everything at the same time with the ones that I'm using. But it's handy to look at it like this as well. You can never have too many sources of information unless they're confusing. Peloton's making a move to the upside. Where did EVAX go? Oh, it's coming down now. Well, this is the 5th red candle in a row. That's not very bullish. Had support previously at 340 on this candle here. Of course, the consolidation was a little over 340, so we're at 338. So it's that range, give or take a few cents, give or take a couple of cents. I need it to bounce at 335 and move back up. If it doesn't, we'll move on. Amazing how the market likes round numbers. Yeah, when they first introduced the beta scanner on Benzinga, Alistair, it didn't have as many features, so they keep adding to it. Now, I looked at it a few months ago, and it wasn't as feature-rich as it is now. So it was just the fact that Chaz mentioned it in the Discord, so I thought I'd have another look at it, and yeah, it looks quite good. So it's not going to replace my existing scanner, but it might supplement them. Catch you later, Alistair. Enjoy the school run. EVAX, explain why it's moving. I can certainly explain why it's moving. In fact, I'll put it up for you to read it yourself. So this is Benzinga. This is why I recommend was Benzinga. Right, okay, that's disconcerting. Let me pull it up on this scanner. Okay, so EVAX is the reason that EVAX is moving is that Evaxion Biotech is the company that Evax is trading under Evax. It's announced successful production of personalized cancer immunotherapies in phase 1 and 2A of clinical trial for the EVX-02, which is what they're working on. So it's a successful production of a cancer immunotherapy treatment. That's why it's moving up. Why that didn't work, I don't know. Weird. I'll look at it on this other. Okay. Makes sense. If I said and I thought it would hold, it would be purely speculation. If I said that I knew it was going to hold, I'd be lying. The problem with the market, and the problem that I have with the market, is it can be completely irrational. Get a good catalyst like this. So if you remember last week, I traded one stock and I held on to it because I just saw the catalyst, and it just reminded me of another stock I traded earlier in the year with regards to Alzheimer's treatment. And I thought, okay, this is going to turn around. The last time I saw a treatment, a catalyst like this, it went on and the stock went on and did 750% gains on the day, and it just sold off. And I lost. That's why I lost like 20 grand on it or something like that. And the quick answer is I don't know. So trying to anticipate the market, trying to predict the market. There are cleverer people than me that haven't been able to do that. So I don't try myself. I would rather react to the price action than try and predict the market. We might get a turnaround here. So 345, 346 could see on the 5 minute. There we go. We've got the VWAP and the $0.50 right there, 4 cents away. So I'm not going to get in because we've got clear resistance on the $0.50 and the VWAP. So I need to get above the VWAP, come back, test it as support, and then I'm interested in trading it again. Till it's, there we go, we've broken the VWAP. Come back to 350 as a support level. There we go. I want to see it stay above 350. The high of this candle is 355, so 356 can be our entry point. next candle to make a new high. If it bounces, that is. Absolutely. Don't get me started. I can't even. I'm having to be careful on what apps I open for fear of that they'll actually drain data and suck the juice out of the connection. So TradingView, I open that when I need to, and then I close it down again afterwards. Keep waiting for. I've got my router plugged into the wall, and I keep resetting it, waiting for it to be switched on at the exchange. I wouldn't mind. It just needs switching on at the bloody exchange. Well, it's unlimited data, so I don't have to worry about the cost of streaming. It's the power charges. I've got my ring lamp. I've got 3 screens. I've got the laptop. I've got speakers and various other kind of stuff. So it's the electricity bill that's higher. The data is I get charged the same cost no matter what. Even if I'm going through mobile data, I get unlimited data on my mobile package as well. So it's not costing me anything. That's Virgin for you. No, I don't live in Canada. The thing is, you can get a similar situation in Canada, but you've got to rent a line. So it used to be like you rent an ISDN line and you didn't pay data charge because you're paying for the bandwidth. So you can still get that, but it's usually only for commercial activity. Are we looking at a green opening? It looks that way at the moment. The Nasdaq's up 2%. Tesla's up 2.5%. So keep going. But the Nasdaq's up 2%, the Russell's up 1.3%, the S&P 5's 1.2%, the Dow's almost 1%. So we might see a green open. The question I would ask is, will it maintain? Will it sustain? It was bound to bounce at some stage. We can't continue in the same direction forever. It's going to retrace at some stage. But the question is, will it sustain? Will it hold? I'm not so sure it will right now. What happened then? So EVAX didn't hold above the VWAP, came back down to test the VWAP and broke down. So that's why you wait for, when you break the VWAP, you come back to test it. If it moves back up, you want it to break the previous candle's high. It didn't. So got to wait again if we're going to trade EVAX again. Valerian's looks to be making a move. Scanners aren't opening for whatever reason. Reboot all my scanners, I think. Give me a second. Where's my signals go? Signals. Second. Just reconfiguring the scanners. They were, I don't know what happened, but just have to fix them, and then we can get back onto doing some trading. Oh, pretty much. Scanners reset up, working again. Happy days. All to this trading and streaming like that meets the eye, you know, guys. Gotta be bloody tech support wizard for yourself at the same time. Lack of broadband doesn't help. Right, okay, so that's me. Okay. Luna? There's always problems with the moon. But yeah, there's quite a few. I think the Solana blockchain, is Luna on the Solana blockchain or something? Because Solana's had issues all over the place over the last while. I wouldn't trust Solana with anything at the minute. SPY and Nasdaq are looking good, so let's just have a quick look at the S&P 500. You can see here, if I zoom out, you can actually look at it on the 60-minute. There you go. Which is where we finished yesterday, so we're already up. We finished under we actually finished under 400 on the SPY. We're 403, so it's looking good at the moment. 5 minutes, it's looking very nice. Look at that. Beautiful market movement. But the Nasdaq, very similar. Upwards momentum above the VWAP and gaining. That's what we like to see. The Russell, which directly affects my day's trading because I look for small caps primarily. So the Russell index is the small cap index. This is 177, so it's looking like we might have a good day today. I think they're doing nothing. Let's have a look at Dre. It's not got good volume, but that looks like some kind of a merger or acquisition or something. Duke Reality. Let's have a look. Duke Reality shares are trading higher after Prologis reported to offer to buy the company for $61.68 per share. So we've got $10 potential move there. No, not 10, $3 potential movement. I wouldn't trust it though. So that's why that's up. Forge, low volume, but I like trading Forge. Low volume, but it's moving in the right direction. 60-minute looks very interesting. Hey, buddy. Absolutely, I'll show you how to draw support and resistance levels. Let's look at the SPY, for example. Here we've got the SPY. What I look for is not necessarily the 1 minute, but if you look at the 5 minute, for example, you zoom out. What you're looking for is areas of confirmed that it's touched a number of times. So right now, pre-market, I'll get my horizontal line ready, and I'd look at that and say, okay, well, we've got round numbers. It's touched that level at 399.68 a couple of times. We've got levels there, so you really want to be looking at drawing it there so draw your line as it touches it many times as possible. Here, it doesn't matter if it breaks underneath it, but here you've got another one at 454 because it's touched it there, and there, and every time it's broke below it, it's actually come back up. So those are the support and resistance lines. You can move it about. So here you've got a resistance level here. It's touched it like 3-4 times, and it's also used it as support here and here. So this is how you draw it, but now you look at that and you can look at the higher time frame, and you can see that I've just drawn that there. It was also on the higher time frame from a 30-minute as opposed to a 15-minute. You can see it's acted as resistance there as well, and again there. So you're looking for basically horizontal levels where you get a horizontal line where your price action has touched a particular level multiple times and then retraced. So in this case, and it doesn't matter whether it's touched it and then moved up or whether it's touched it and moved down. So if it's an upwards move and it finds it as resistance, it'll move back. If it's a downwards move and finds it as support, it'll move up. Now what I've got to understand with support and resistance is they're interchangeable. As you can see here on the way down, we found this line here as support and it moved back up again. When we broke through it, we came back up and found it as resistance. Now we went up, it's acted a little bit of support, but it's really resistance because it got rejected. Back up, resistance. Now we want to see it act as support again. So that's how you would draw resistance and support, Baddy. I hope that helps you. But if you need more clarity, just comment in the chat and I'll go into a bit more detail. Are we buying today, Box? Well, we're already 700 up on EVAX, but EVAX seems to have peaked off at 350, 370s, 373. I'll just put the resistance level up here, high of day. See that we're at 330s, we got that support level there. I want to look at it on the 1 minute again. Zoom out. So we're looking at how many times it's touched a particular level, 335. Look for round numbers as well. When you're drawing your support and resistance, Baddy, look for round numbers. So if it's off by a couple of cents, it doesn't matter. So for example, if in this particular scenario, we're getting 335, 340. We've got 340 there. Will be because it's come down, found support at 340 before moving back up again. But we've seen it as support there, even though it doesn't actually touch it. So you could have said there's an argument for it to be 342 because it's touched it more times at 342. But you take the round number, 340, 333. Really, we've got resistance here at 335, but there's an argument to say it's 333 because we've got support. No, it'd be 335. You take the round numbers, okay? Box Canada, yeah, absolutely. We're going to be buying today when we find something to buy. Alternatively, we will look at shorting like we did yesterday. My go-to strategy is always long bias, and only if I'm not finding the trades to go long will I then revert to short. That tends to be my my strategy, at least, anyway. And if you want to know my strategies, check out the course in the description. It's my course. I put it together at your request. You guys in this stream, I requested that I put a course together, so I penned it together. I've recorded all the content, all the lectures. There's over 20 hours of lecture material in that course. There's, you know, a library of reference material from best-selling authors. Access to that in that course. You get access to a private Discord mentoring both in terms of group and individually. So check out the description in my link tree. There's a course in my link tree, very, very affordable, creating a lovely little community for each other being profitable. So we're not getting a lot of volume in terms, but it is moving in the right direction. Back over 820s today will stand me in good stead. I need to back over 880s just to get back break even, but I'm going to quit the music because it seems to be having an adverse effect on the stream. So just quit the music because it seems to be having an adverse effect on the stream. SPY's up at 404s now. SPY's moved a lot. Yeah, 1.5% already. 2.5% the Nasdaq, or the Qs. Qs is an ETF that represents the Nasdaq, and 304s now on the Qs. Russell Index, the IWM, is the short, small cap index. And then we've got the DIA, which is low volume at the moment, but it moves in relation to the Dow as a whole. Get rid of DIA. The VIX index is the inverse index. This is what's known as the fear index, and you can see this is down nearly 5% today, which is good news. This usually goes in the opposite direction to the wider markets. What is my best indicator to work with? That's a good question there, Baddy. So the one indicator I've got on my screen that you can see here is there's four things that I'm using every single day for day trading. I've got obviously the candlesticks themselves, the price action and the patterns that they form. I've got the volume histogram at the bottom, which is essential. We need volatility and we need volume. So if we've not got volume, there's no trades. I've got the VWAP, so the volume weighted average price is the blue line here. And what that is it's an intraday trend indicator. It's not really much use beyond the daily time frame. So, and it's kind of not really great for higher time frames. But from an intraday perspective, the lower time frames, 1, 5, 15, 30 minute, hourly even, it's a good intraday trend indicator. So if the candlestick action is taking place below the VWAP, it means we're in a bearish territory, we're in a downwards trend. If the candlestick action is taking place above the VWAP, then we're in a bullish territory, we're in an upwards trend. And if it's ranging above and below constantly, then it means we're just traveling sideways, and it's a very choppy trend. The other indicator you can see on this one is these green and gold bars here, which is volume by price. And all this does, it tells me what's been bought where, whether it's been bought on the uptick, which is the green, and whether it's been bought on the downtick, which is the gold. And there's got to be an equal number of buyers and sellers, which is why just looking at the volume as a whole isn't going to tell you much, because it's a zero-sum market. I want to see how the relationship between people buying it moving up, going long, versus people buying it to sell it and going short even, or covering. So this is volume by price, and it tells me where the bag holders are. It tells me where the majority of the action's taking place, and it's a good indicator as well for, you like to find support and resistance walls. If you've got big candles on these ones here, you might find support and or resistance walls. Those are the indicators. Now, if I'm looking at other strategies, So this primarily from momentum strategies that I use, so the gap and go, momentum trading strategy. But if I'm looking at more complex, longer time frame strategies, like the reversal strategy, for example, I'll then use indicators like Bollinger Bands, relative strength index, and the MACD. But I try to keep my charts as clean as possible, and certainly I would say the VWAP is the most used from my point of view in terms of indicators. So we've only got the one stock on the watch list, and that's selling off at the minute. That's in a downwards trend at the minute. So I'm not overly bullish on this one just yet. I want to see this back up around 350, back above the VWAP for me to trade it. It's retraced quite considerably. I don't mind it doing this retracement, but it allows me to mark out clear areas. So 350. So for yourself, Buddy, 355. Would you mark 355 as the area of resistance, or 350? So you've got 355 is a clear area where it's touched multiple times with the wicks. You've got it over here as resistance, and here as resistance as well. You've got it here as well. But what I'd do is I'd put that down at 350 because it's a round number. So 355 is in the range of the $half resistance level. Likewise, you can go down here. There's an argument to say 340, 346 is the level, or 347, because you've got resistance here that's touched it, but it isn't. It's 350 because the resistance areas and support, they're not at a particular price point. They're at a particular area. So I'm looking at the $half area, and that is what I'm looking at as resistance and support. So if you go above it, like for example, I wanted to break above the VWAP, which just happened to be at the $half level here. So break above it and then come back, test its support, and then move back up. It came back to test its support and failed and sold off. So the fact that if it had gone back down here to kind of 347, 348, and then moved back up, it would have been a valid test of support. So it doesn't have to be right on the money in terms of to the cent. It can be, it is an area, it can be a couple of cents above or below those areas. Good morning, NASA. How are you, sir? So we've got a little over 20 minutes to the bell. If you're watching on TikTok, I will show you this. So this is me. This is my page. And if you click on the little, I'm just going to get rid of that so I'm not draining the data. If you click on my profile, click on my face, double click on my face, swipe left, whichever you want to do. Go to the link, which is the Linktree link. It says the TikTok trade. If you come to this splash screen, just go through anyway. It's not going to hurt you. And then it'll bring you to this page. So this page here is my Linktree, and you've got all my contact details here, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok. You've got my YouTube, email. You can even send me money if you want to. I'm not asking you to, but you know, whatever. Now, this is what I was talking about here earlier with regards to the course to learn how to trade. If you really want to get into it, first and foremost, I would say really think about it, because most people who get into trading lose money. Most people, over 95% of people that do trading lose money long term. And part of that is because they approach it with a gambling mindset. Part of it is because they try to second guess the market. They don't have a defined strategy to work with. They don't have any clear defined strategy. So what I'm doing, people, my strategies, my profitable strategies. they're not just my strategies. I didn't invent them myself. They are well-known, well-used strategies used by a lot of the profitable day traders that are profitable, the kind of 5 to 15% of profitable day traders. What do you get? Well, you get a full course that tells you how to trade. You learn all of the popular methodologies and strategies. You learn about the psychology. You learn about risk management. You learn how to select the right stocks to trade. It's not just about the biggest movers. It's not just about the stocks that everybody's trading. You learn about why certain stocks, for example, you learn why I'm not going to be trading ETFs because they're a derivative, and you learn the reasons why for that. You get to understand how to do charting. You understand how to spot areas of support and resistance, what windows of opportunity are, etc. Then I start talking about my actual trading strategies themselves and when to implement them. There's a whole section on scanning for stocks and how to build your scanners in Benzinga, or you don't have to use Benzinga. You can use FinViz. You can use anything. Level 2 and hotkeys. That's another part. It gets a bit more technical. How you read the ticker tape. In terms of trading as a business, having a business plan mindset. There's a 3-month business plan to actually grow your trading business. Advanced technical indices I've already talked about, sort of the likes of the Bollinger Bands, RSI, etc. And there's introductions to options trading. I'm currently in the process of building out a swing trading course, and it starts with this introduction to swing trading, which you get as part of this right now. You get as part of the day trading course. Once the swing trading course is complete, this will be moving as the introduction to that day trading course as a separate course. Swing trading, day trading, not the same thing, but a lot of the similar principles do apply. So there's a lot of reading material, some best-selling trading books and a full reading library for you to continue to study above and beyond the course. It's 140 books. Well, it's 120 books, 120 US dollars plus tax. So if you're in the certain states in the US, it's going to cost you $125. If you're in other areas, it's going to, if like in Ireland, it's going to cost you $146. In the UK, I think it works about £120, 130 euros elsewhere in Europe. So it's certainly worth the money from the feedback I've got from the students that have already taken the course. If you're wondering why it's a subscription, you can get access to all of the content in that first month, not a problem. If you're able to digest it, that's fine. Just cancel and move on with what I've taught you. You get personal mentorship with that. You get access to the Discord, the private Discord, where I'm calling out watch lists. I'm calling out helping with platform configuration, etc. So you get all access to this for a very low figure. If you're wondering, am I profitable? I've got 3 months of reports, trade review, journaling reports, and the corresponding broker statements from those months as well. I'll be updating this with my last 3 months, which are not as pretty as these, I've got to be honest. So the last 2 months have been a bit, April and May to date have been a bit difficult for me, but you do get red days. Every trader loses money. Just remember that. So check that out. What else have I got? You're probably wondering what these scanners here are in the middle of your screen. This is where I'm getting my ideas to trade. This is what I'm trading. This tells me what I'm trading. I've got signals, alerts, news, rolling news, all at my fingertips on one of my screens here. And this tells me, and this is Benzinga. So this is the second link, Benzinga. You can try this for free, 14 days. You don't even need a credit card or anything like that. Try it for free. Check it out. I mentioned my trading journal, TraderView, not to be confused with TradingView, which is a charting platform. But TraderView, it's great for analyzing your trades. If you're not quite profitable, go back, look at what you did wrong, learn from it. And people asking me what my platform is to trade, it's DAS Trader. So DAS Trader Pro, and there's a link to this here. You can actually subscribe and do it for a a paper trading account if you want to, if you don't have money to invest in the markets just yet. But if you're going to try subscribe onto live data, it's going to cost you money wherever you are. If you want to paper trade for free, TradingView. That's what I would recommend. So yourself, Buddy, if you don't have the money to get into a course, that means you don't have the money to invest in the market. So stick with TradingView, stick with paper trading on TradingView, and just learn whilst you're saving up. That would be my advice to you. If you can't afford to pay $150 for a course that's going to give you an edge on the market, then you can't afford to get into the market. It's as simple as that. The minimum I would say that you need is about $3,000 to day trade. I would recommend at least $5,000 to put into a broker. But again, I caveat that with don't invest any amount of money that you're not comfortable losing. Because if you don't have the mental discipline to stick to the strategies, you could lose that money. It is a very definite possibility that you will lose the money. Okay? So most people do lose money in the markets. And I caveat that, and I've lost money. I'm currently, actually, I'm not behind now as of yesterday. But I was... No, I am still behind as of yesterday. I'm about 4,000 down since April the 1st. So if the first 3 months of the year, I was over 300 in profit. But since April the 1st, I'm about $4,000 down over the last 5 weeks. So it does take a while to get used to it. And even experienced traders do veer from the strategies and get caught with emotional lapses, so lack of discipline from time to time, and that's okay. Welcome back, Alistair. Shut up with the old photo. That's my catfishing photo. Yeah, like I say, you've got to make do with the stream at the moment. This mobile data is killing me, but it's supposed to be 4G, but we'll see. Jackson, well, we traded EVAX, but it's not held, so we're looking for something else to trade right now. We've turned the music off. We're not streaming the second TikTok stream, so we've turned that off as well. So we've only got the one stream going out. Well, the markets are upwards trending at the moment, so they're looking like trying to bounce at least. I don't know about recover, but they're trying to bounce at least. So we might have a green day today overall. We'll see. We've just traded EVAX earlier when it was on its move up. It's selling off now, so I'm waiting for the open. We've got 10 minutes to the open. So we'll see what direction EVAX makes. It's probably the top gainer on the day. So Forex is probably the biggest gambling. Unless you've got a clear strategy with Forex, I wouldn't touch it. It is very much gambling. If you're trying to get in and use indicators as your exit and entry points, or entry and exit points with Forex Buddy, then you're going to lose money, simply because all of the indicators that you're looking for are lagging indicators. They're telling you what has happened previously. They're giving you an insight into the past. Even the VWAP is a lagging indicator. It's giving you an insight into the past. And what's happened in the past is no indication of what's going to happen going forward. So you need to look for patterns. You need to look for that support and resistance areas and you need to learn a strategy around that rather than looking for using lagging indicators as your entry and exit signals. Anybody that's selling signals in a Discord or selling stock picks in a Discord, the likelihood is they're losing. They're making money selling signals. Now, I put that course together at the bequest of people on my stream. And the people on my stream that are now taking that course or going through that course are spotting the areas that I use and the patterns that I use on a daily basis with stocks. Now, Forex is no different in terms of technical fundamentals, technical principles, but there's so many people, supposed gurus, because the barrier to entry in Forex is relatively low. They say that you can get in for $100 and make $1,000, and the truth is, no, you can't. It's not going to happen. You might get lucky one day, and you might get lucky on the lottery the next day. Same principle. If you're going to approach it with a gambling mindset and just back the horses, put your money on the football results, whatever it is. It's the same kind of principle, and a lot of gamblers get into the stock market because they get the same rush from gambling, from playing poker, from playing blackjack. Playing poker, it's not so much gambling if you know what you're doing, but a lot of people that get into poker get into because they're gambling. So, and they end up losing money. So the top poker professionals have strategies, and the top poker professionals, they don't gamble. You know, they're not gambling. They're looking for clear signals, and they're looking for edge on what they're playing. They're looking for statistical. They do a lot of statistical analysis at the red. So same thing with the stock market. What am I paying for EVAX? I'm not paying anything for EVAX at the moment. I'm waiting to see what direction it takes. We've got 6 minutes to the open. It's not looking very strong right now, but this consolidation can change. So we've got this 35 is a key level. And of course, you've got the $250 level. So for me, if not even entertaining EVAX if it stays below the $250 level. But we'll see at the open. We'll see what else comes to the fore. Forge is moving up quite considerably. It's now in the realms of tradability in terms of volatility gain, but I need to see more volume. So Forge Global is only 47,000 shares traded today. I need more volume than that. Volume is essential. We need volatility, we need volume. So when we're looking at the gap scanners, we're looking at volatility. Then once we've seen it, because it's sorted by the volatility, it's sorted by the gains. So which has moved the most? That's what we're looking for in the gap scanners, the momentum scanners. Then we look at the volume. So what level of trading has actually instigated that move? And when I say we're looking at the volume, it doesn't have to be high volume, it has to be high relative volume. So if it normally trades 500,000 shares on a day and it's traded 100,000 today, that's not high relative volume. If it's normally traded 500,000 shares and it's already traded 5 million shares today, then obviously that's 10x. It's high relative volume. If it's traded 50 million shares today, but it normally only trades 100 million, then it's less than half of its regular trading volume. So it's not high relative volume. So if you go to Bank of America, for example, it would be huge volume, but low volatility. And you go to something like Forge Global at the moment, which has got good volatility, but very low volume. You need both. One without the other is useless. So I hope the stream is kind of, no, it's not. The stream is still a bit dodgy. I do apologize. But hopefully it will get a little bit better. So looking at the Nasdaq and the S&P 5, still upwards trending. Here's your SPY, or the S&P 500. SPDR ETF, which represents the S&P 500. We're getting a little bit of support here at 404. We want to see it maintain, hold. We did get a little bit of resistance at 404 at this pullback. So that 404 level is going to be crucial at the open. If it breaks below 404, we might see a reversal. It'd be nice to move upwards again today. Lovely to move upwards again today. So we've got 2 minutes to the open. Upstart seems to be trying to make a bounce. This is pretty sold off. We might get a reversal here. Already started to get a reversal. You will. Huge sell-off on Upstart, and got a little bit of a bounce, move up. We get rejected by the VWAP, so maybe a VWAP fade play here, shorted again. Let's have a look. And then what the market does, this could be a play to either short or look for that reversal. I'd look for the 1 hour, 60-minute time frame, and look for the first candle to make a new high. If you get a candle to make a new high on the 60-minute time frame, then I would say possible reversal. Otherwise, you might just want to play above and below the VWAP. So 30 seconds to the bell. I will change my scanners over to the regular market, and let's see what happens at the bell. Good luck, guys. If you're trading today, good luck. If you're not trading today, enjoy. Fifteen seconds. And the market is open. Let's see what direction we're going to be taking today. I'm going to wait for my scanners before I'm actually taking any trades. Just waiting for some action. Right now. The market's open, the SPY has just shot up. So if you look at the SPY, shot up, said that 404 level was a key level, but it didn't. It shot up and broke 405s. It's testing 406. So that's a great sign. Green on the markets. That's a good sign. Let's see what momentum stocks we get today. I will just take a quick bio break. All right, let's look at where we are right now. EVAX just sold off at the open. SPY pulling back some. Not necessarily a bad thing if we get a bit of a continuation. So EVAX continuing to sell off. Hindsight, we probably could have made a bit shorting this one after it broke the 350 level. It went up and failed there. Probably could have shorted it. I'm looking now on the scanners. So I've got the 15-minute scanners here, which is really what I'm looking at right now, given that EVAX was the only one on the session scanner that was a gap and go candidate, and it's selling off rather than rallying. So now I'm looking at where the momentum is. There's not a lot moving just yet, so we've got time. The market's only just opened. We're not 5 minutes in yet, so let the first 5-minute candles form. Then you've got your opening range to trade within. Let's have a look at Vintner. Vertex Energy selling off as well. This was another gapper, but it didn't have huge volume pre-market. So let's go back to the wider market. So I don't really want to see this pull back more than kind of 4 or 450. Pulls all the way back to the VWAP. It's kind of lost its initial surge, which is not. I mean, the Nasdaq. Oh dear, Qs are already moving downwards. I don't like to see that. So the opening price, it's below today's opening price. So we've now got red candles on the 5 minutes after that initial surge. So that's the Nasdaq, not a good sign. And the S&P 500 just about to go below today's opening price, below the VWAP. Well, it gave us a little bit of hope for 90 seconds or so. And now we're selling off. The markets are selling off. Oh dear. Oh, the Russell Index, the Dow Jones, yeah, they're all selling off. That's not what we want to be seeing. Okay, so EVAX trying to make a red to green move. I need to see it above this opening range. The high is 322, so 325 is really where I'm looking for. 322 is the current session high with EVAX, but of course we've got the $0.25 at 325, so we're going to get psychological resistance at 325. So just watch this opening opening range forming. I'm sorry about me getting cut off, Ahmed. There's I'm on mobile data at the moment because my broadband hasn't yet been. It's my broadband connection, mobile data, unfortunately. Yeah, I saw that. Upstart did try to make a reversal. That first candle to make a new high on the hourly. We did that, as I mentioned. This could be worth looking into. Just need a safe entry point. It's a more expensive stock, so you gotta manage your risk accordingly. Sign making a move upwards. To sign. Nothing hitting the scanners as such. But mine's looking nice. Start pulling back a little. We'll get a bit of a bounce on the markets. This is looking very strong. For an entry point. Big spreads on this though. Price get a bit of average cost. For Very volatile. Very volatile indeed. And bounce on the V. Oh, damn. Not sure I can trade with this connection. Get me into trouble. Do we get that VWAP bounce or not? The question. It's extremely volatile, which is good. Just need the volatility and the volume to be in the right direction. Connections cut out again. I'm going to have to get out of this trade. As soon as I get out of this trade, I'm going to have to cut this because I can't trade with this connection. It's too dangerous. Ah, I'd lose a fortune. Trading, it's like trading blind. The activity is killing me. I can't even see if it's moving or not. 34 is the line in the sand here. There we go. Get out. Can't trade it. I can't trade with this connectivity. It's just not reliable. Hang on a minute. I'm going to have to boot this connection again.